Should we try that again?
Yeah. Morning!
Kerry's forgot to put the mic on.
Yes. Where are we off to today?
Well, today I'm really excited because we're off to EGX 2017 at the NEC. And EGX stands for Enormous Giant Xylophones.
I thought it was eggs.
Eggs. But yeah, we're going to Enormous Giant Xylophones in the NEC, which is known in Birmingham as the Nipple Erection Coliseum. The main point of this trip today is that we're going to be hanging around with Oddworld for most of the event.
Yep.
Going to be getting some footage with them, going to be finding out some, hopefully, never before seen or heard facts and footage and stuff like that from the new upcoming Soulstorm game. Very exciting. I'm going to try and have a little chat with Lorne about one or two things. See you at the event unless something interesting happens on the way there.
We'll see you on Donuts breakfast.
Oh god. Okay, we do need to have breakfast. I don't know if a McDonald's breakfast is the best idea because this weekend is going to be a diet consisting. I was going to say it's consisting mainly of lard. There's going to be some Big Macs, some Big Macs, some larger Macs, and some
Mega Macs,
gargantuan Macs. Yeah, so basically, we're trying to get to Birmingham and every single major road has been closed. Every single one.
Phone box?
There's a phone box, great. That doesn't help us get to the NEC. So we're going through all these shitty little villages trying to get to Worcester somehow, and I just don't know where
I mean, it's very nice and everything. It's
but
pretty,
you can't drive through it, you can't see anything.
Everyone's trying to smash into our car as well.
Give it 5 minutes, it will tell you in a sec, it will say, road ahead closed, road ahead closed.
Can you talk us through what just happened?
Another fucking road's closed. I don't know what to do.
We're gonna run out of petrol.
Yes, this is ridiculous. And they said follow this diversion, but there's no diversion signs anywhere, so I don't know what to do.
I think breakfast is off the cards today.
I think it is as well. We're going to be 20 minutes late as it is anyway. We've had to stop because we need breakfast. But it's not even breakfast anymore. We went around in circles. Google Maps took us back where we came from. We've added on about an hour onto this journey.
It's very stressful.
Oh my god.
Very stressful.
So now we're gonna go and eat some shit. Thank you very much to Alex and Pete from Oddworld for setting all of this up for us. Thank you.
Yes.
We will be there in a second.
We will.
We do need to eat. We're starving. That was an awful drive.
Yeah.
Please don't hold it against us. She is!
Hey!
Please welcome Lorne Lanning.
Good morning. As you can see, not far away from me is the luscious one.
Hi.
There he is.
You guys are familiar with the YouTuber Caddy? Yeah. Hand for Caddy. He's been a huge supporter. Thank you, man.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people. Welcome back. We have sitting next to us right now with the legacy he has left behind in front of us. He's legendary, he's limitless, and he's luscious. He is Lorne Lanning. How are you today, my
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, especially after seeing some of the game. Can I say that I've seen the game?
You can say you've seen the
I've seen it, but I can't tell you how good it is or anything.
No, you can tell them how good it is.
It's fantastic.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it really?
For this early, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we're not just hyping.
No, obviously this is still very much kind of secretive. You've done your talk earlier. There was quite a lot of questions that I had that were already kind of answered there, but a few more that are like brought forward after that talk. Okay, first of all, before we do anything, Abe did have his birthday recently.
Yeah.
So has he got a birthday speech prepared?
Not at all.
No?
No.
Nothing?
It hadn't even
Nothing?
occurred to me.
Nothing? Abe must have a birthday speech. Everyone wants Abe's birthday speech.
I don't have one. I haven't had a day off in 10 weeks. I just got off a 14-hour flight last night. I got 3 hours of sleep before here. Right, that's like it never even occurred to me that Abe had a speech.
Oh dearie me! Can we have a little, Abe? A little bit.
Happy birthday to me.
New and Tasty was obviously a reimagining of the Odyssey story. So is this going to be a reimagining of the Exodus story, or is it much more than that? Is it something that?
Yeah, it's Exodus without getting too much into details, but Exodus was something that time, relationships, the marketplace, partners, it was something that had to get done that took us off in a certain amount of time, a very short, we did it in 9 months. Abe's Odyssey took 3.5 years to build the company and build it, and then we had to deliver Exodus in 9 months.
I hear that Sherry had loads of fruit baskets around because it was like no burgers.
And vitamins,
I was going to say.
The vitamin Nazi,
Vitamin nuts.
Yeah. She was like, we were like, that's a Coke. What are you doing, Sherry? You'll see it. I'm like, hide it. And they're like, oh yeah.
Coke gives you energy.
Right. And a lot of other things too. But you just have to get older, and age will reveal them.
We found some Yorkshire pudding mushrooms. They're huge.
We'll be back at past again. We're here every half hour.
Okay, bye, Sonic. Bye.
What a nice man.
What a great guy.
What a great guy.
Exodus was intended to be the second game of Quintology.
Yes.
And but you know, time and circumstances shaped it into something it wasn't, which is why we called it a bonus game. And with the success of New and Tasty, we'd asked the audience before that, what game would you like us to redo next if we were doing this? Because we didn't think New and Tasty would be as successfully as it was, and so we didn't necessarily.
You thought so wrong. You thought so wrong.
Well, thank you, but it did great, and that allowed us to up the budget. So the audience came back and said, we want to see Exodus remade.
Yeah,
and it was like, well, if we're going to do that, what if we did it the way it was originally intended?
Okay, well that was going to go on to my another question that I had, which was this the original intention of Exodus?
So the idea of the brew, the idea of what was happening around the brew, that wound up in Exodus, except it got way watered down.
Yeah, it's basically Odyssey but with brew, essentially. If you strip it down,
It was supposed to be something much more, and we were going to take a lot more time with it. We were planning on building a new engine, all this stuff. So that's why we called it a bonus game, because it wasn't what we intended it to be, but the team did an amazing job in delivering it. Right?
You could say it's an add-on, essentially, to Odyssey. If you want to look at it like by today's standards, it's like a massive 8-hour DLC, basically.
Yeah. We said, well, what if we could get back to what that original intent was with the Oddworld Quintology, really Abe's primary story. So Abe was this character who's going to drive, he was like the primary hero through the Quintology, but then we were like, oh, as we're going to add on his sidekicks, we'll feature them. Yeah. And that's not necessarily a wise thing to do. Okay. We started this 23 years ago. We launched Abe 20 years ago. 20 years ago. How old were you?
Well, I'm 23 now, so that gives you an idea. Yeah.
So when you were still being conceived, we were working on this idea. We're going to approach this in a more sort of technologically agile way, which is we have some ideas. Brew was at the core of it. Brew was always supposed to be highly flammable. I thought we could run it in 1998. Thank God we didn't try, because it was.
I don't know how that. What I've seen, I don't know how it would have been done on the PS1.
But I figured I designed how it works back then.
Wow.
I just never had a chance to implement it.
Just too much. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
So that it really felt like a highly volatile, flammable liquid. So in that, we said, okay, let's start here. Let's not scale out the whole team. Let's just focus on engineering and the mechanics that come with this new playability. But we're building on top of Unity, and we get to start where New and Tasty left off. But we're going to redo a lot of that technology. Where we had originally designed the intent of this game to here, and I mean recently, 2 years ago, right? It's what we were delivering is actually here. But that was because of the way we approached it. So we didn't have a whole staff that was trying to make art or trying to do levels designs ahead of where the code is. We said we really need to find what is the synergy that makes all this systems work properly together, and stay true to Abe, right? Abe's really about followers, he's about empathy, he's about puzzles. So how do we do that, but really, turn the volume up to 11 on the genre, side-scrolling platformer game, and then push that dynamic too? So
move the plot and move the gameplay, into overdrive, absolutely, Oh, watch out, it's Solid Snake. Well, the good thing is, I mean, you're incredibly good at answering questions I already had later on in the previous questions.
I've heard that 3 times.
Yeah, I was going to say,
shut up and stop. That's my psychic abilities.
No, you're very good. Man. You're very good. So I was going to ask, and now you've kind of answered it, which is this basically, after New and Tasty came out, is this basically a reset button on the Oddworld story, or is it just a new interpretation? Is it?
It's a reset button on the story, but the story of Abe in Abe's Odyssey and Militaries, that fable. Yeah, it was really like a fable.
Yeah, absolutely.
How this slave begins toppling a major system of oppression. Right? We said let's keep the fable, but let's get it running with 21st century technology, because that was on with where the vision was for that point in time.
Okay, yeah.
Then we go forward and we go, the rest was not.
Right.
So
okay.
let's use that opportunity to get back to what that was. And if we do it right, hopefully the audience goes with us.
There's been loads of projects that have been spoken about, rumored, gone into, dropped. One of them was the Hand of Odd, which was going to be a real-time strategy, if I'm right in thinking. The whole Mudokon management system, is that an idea that was going to be in that, but now you've gone, oh wait, this is what we wanted to do with Exodus years ago, so now let's just bring it all back?
First, RTS was largely the same model as I perceived it as a genre, which was two opposing sides, deplete an environment until there's nothing left, and whoever uses that environment as a weaponized way to beat the other wins over an apocalyptic landscape. You won an apocalyptic landscape.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
And I was like, but what if one side was harnessing the force of nature the way Yoda would, and then the other side was doing the industrial model, which is
the Emperor.
raping, right?
Yeah,
so one is growing and one is raping and harvesting. And then the idea of Hand of Odd was that it was that balance.
Yeah.
So one was empowered not by both chopping down trees, but one would use the power of the spiritual energy in trees, and the forest became something you could harness the power, and the other side is just trying to chop it down. So you had this different dichotomy of conflict, introducing more opposing approaches to a single RTS playing field.
Yeah,
that was Hand of Odd. And one of the reasons it never happened, I remember, because I was in a men's room at LAX.
That's a strange place to be. Okay, all right,
all right. I went into the men's room in LAX airport, you know.
Okay, all right, okay.
And standing next to me in the urinal was Bobby Kotick,
okay,
the CEO of Activision. And I was like, oh, hey, Bobby, you know, long time no see. He's like, oh, hey, what are you guys doing now? I said, oh, you know, we're doing this, and I think we're about to do an RTS game. He goes, don't do it. He goes, don't do it. There's no market there anymore. When he said that, I just totally got terrified because
you can't take risks.
Bobby Kotick's no dummy.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Activision,
that was before he was a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? We started to get a little cold feet about that idea if the head of a major publisher's going, look, the genre's dying. Right. So it was really the men's room visit that just killed it for me.
That's, if you weren't in there at that point, then everything could be massively different right now.
Yeah, we might have been out of business soon.
If you could just hold in your piss that one time, everything could have been different.
Look what happens.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey Eddie, I found the perfect VR set for you and your massive head.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you said as well, like this is basically what you wanted Exodus to be. So it's not like you're just doing new stuff for the sake of doing new stuff. It is like this is basically the idea. You were mentioning in the talk that you wanted to have more character because you were copying models to save on, like, with the limitations of the PS1.
Yeah.
So does that mean you showed off different, like, the different Gluckons and how they all have now completely different faces, different characters behind the faces, but you can still tell they're Gluckons. Does that mean that there are going to be different breeds of the wildlife? Are there going to be different kinds of scrabs, different kinds of paramites, all that kind of thing? Are there different, like a dog, as it were, a dog having different breeds?
Yeah, in the Oddworld universe, yes.
Okay.
In this title, you're more focused on the conflict with the industrial
The industrials,
forces.
yeah.
So it's you're gonna find more of the old world, of the real secrets of Oddworld in this game.
Wow. Okay.
But there'll be fewer encounters with wildlife and stuff. This is more.
So it's not. So actually,
This is more the birth of a revolution.
Okay. So does this
finds a lost history?
So does that mean technically in Exodus when you go through Madumo and Madanchi, does that mean that is basically just redoing what Odyssey did for the sake of redoing it?
Yeah, because we only had 9 months to get the title done.
Interesting.
That wasn't in the original plan. It was like, well, what do we do? We don't have time to create new NPCs. Well, you reuse scrabs and reuse paramites.
And then he's got to get
practical stuff. Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone was like, that was a great idea. And you're like, not really. It was kind of, we needed to fix the flat tire.
Interesting.
That was the only pump we had.
Interesting.
Yeah, really, really practical awesome choices.
Oh look, it's a ball!
So does that mean then in that case, since Exodus was seen more as a bonus, you reused a lot of things, you got it out really, really quickly and everything. Is that why, because I was just thinking, if Soulstorm is going to be the follow-up to New and Tasty, assuming that you saved every Mudokon in New and Tasty, I'm assuming that's canonical.
Well, we're picking up, not with 301 possibilities of how many every different player saved, and they pick up from there, but we're picking up assuming you did a perfect playthrough.
Perfect playthrough. Okay, does that mean that all of the abilities he learned in New and Tasty are going to come back, like the Shrykul transformation and everything? Because in Exodus that's missing until the very, very, very end. But is that going to be now he's got it, so is he going to use it more?
Well, you touch on a good question. So let's say in the past, the puzzles, even in New and Tasty, Abe didn't have an inventory system.
No.
So the puzzles were more like, you need this to solve this now. So you need to get this to achieve that power now, because you're going to use it here. But what that did is it made it very fixed and limited in your
It's
options.
one-on-one, right? It's one event after the other. Yeah.
All of those powers and all of those abilities is something that should be available to the player, A,
Yeah.
when they've achieved it, and then B, when they choose to expend it.
Yeah.
So the value of a certain power, like a Schreikel, is something that you can accumulate.
Okay,
you can
all right,
earn.
okay, all
But
right.
then it's your choice when to use it. But we've created so many more abilities that there's very few things where one solution is the way.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware so far, there's none of that.
Okay, all right.
We really wanted that flexibility of the player, in more of what you would expect in, this is not an RPG, but it's more of what you would expect in an RPG, where you go through, you accumulate usages of power, potions, whatever it is, and then you execute them when you want. Maybe you made some bad choices, but it was all the player's agency to make that decision.
Yeah.
That's where we wanted to get to. It's all the player's choice.
Okay, all right, awesome.
Watch out, it's Solid Snake.
Is there a reason for... It's not a radically different design, but it's still a redesign of Abe. Different kind of ponytail and everything. Is there any reason for that in terms of getting the story from new and tasty? Like, what is there a story reason?
No, it's really technological resolution and budget, right? So when we did new and tasty, we didn't really have the budget to go in and rechange all the databases. So we had the ability to sort of take them up to a certain level where it made sense. So if you look at the cover of new and tasty, Abe's ponytail was still like a, what is that? It was kind of like the dirty sock.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, yeah.
But Abe was always imagined as, and we've talked about him, you know, Munch had labor eggs, right?
Yes.
Moving the labor eggs around. They were always sort of, it descended from birds.
Yeah.
So we descended from monkeys, right?
Yeah.
They descended from birds, so they still hatch.
Oh, so this feathery. Is that what you're getting
And it's
at?
feathers. And this was always intended to be feathers because...
But you just couldn't do it.
So feathers was tough. I mean, we could have had a feather object instead of this, but it just wound up being like a limp sock, and we just stayed with it through that era.
So does that mean that the Madokans that are slaves, because in this game they don't have the... I think in New and Tasty they didn't have them either. They didn't have any hair at all. Is that a kind of... I know this is me probably looking too deep into it, but is it a kind of... They've had their wings clipped, they're not free, they can't... Is that an accident?
So that happens like if you keep a fish in a tank, he will only grow a certain size.
Oh,
right, but if you get them out of the tank back into the wild, all of a sudden they can become a 25-foot shark. The environment shapes your natural ability to bloom. So the idea with the Mudokons was they've been so basically enslaved and misinformed as to who they really are, and that's part of the Soulstorm story, is relearning who they really are. And to me, this is like a parallel with humanity.
Which is why I'm guessing none of them can chant, I guess.
Yeah, you know, there's various things. Abe has something special about him, which leads to why he has stitches, which leads to how empathetic he is.
Yeah.
Right? And in that empathy, he's able to sort of embrace something that was part of their natural heritage and become something that the other guys aren't necessarily encountering.
Yeah.
And that empathy in the beginning is what led to him getting these stitches in the first place. And they were put there to save his life, which is different from all the others because it seemed like he had a different problem. But that'll come out later.
Interesting.
So
okay.
The stitches are at the heart of Abe.
Guess who it is?
It's Sonic!
It sounds like there's so many things that were supposed to be done in the old games and you just couldn't literally do it.
If you want to try and build a property that's going to resonate with people as deeply as like Game of Thrones does, right, then it has to have this depth that the audience has to feel like they can continually uncover. But if they start peeling back a few levels of the onion and there's nothing there, then it's really hard to have it lasting. It's really hard to get that like really passionate fan base.
Yeah.
And I knew that in the beginning. I was really into population control, propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, how populations are controlled, how people are completely ignorant of that.
Yeah.
And how the news and the television shows and the newspapers, they're not telling you anything about that. I was interested in taking that, and I was like, this is a deep passion of mine for many different levels, but if and I think it resonates with where the world's at today, not necessarily that it's aware of it, but I'm trying to be a bit predictive. Like, Abe was kind of an original 99%er, right? That became movements. So when we released New and Tasty, people are going, wow, 20 years ago, this theme still holds up, more relevant today.
Yeah.
It wasn't psychic.
No.
It's just well-researched.
No, yeah,
right?
yeah. But people made Abe the mascot of the PS1 without you even meaning to do that. That's
without Sony.
Yes, it just it's a cult thing, right?
It's funny, you know, that people have this strong association with Abe and PlayStation. They often thought Sony was really involved. The fact is, Sony.
No, they weren't. I know that.
They were very ingenuous.
Yeah.
They put us on a disc for free in the beginning. A lot of people saw that because it went out to PlayStation owners. Some things like that happened. The demo went out. Things like that happened, and so they were really generous. But they weren't giving us money. You know, we didn't have a real deal besides a license to do it. If I'm going to engage in a property, I want to feel the richness, to know that the creators put a lot more in it than I'm able to uncover.
Yeah.
And if it's in themes of what I'm interested in or get provoked by, then I'm going to have a deeper connection to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I was trying to nail. It's like people having a deeper connection to it. You can tell when a creator gets bored.
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
Easy.
We see it in sequels of movies all the time.
Yes.
Right? We're like, oh, he phoned that.
You can
movie.
even see it in YouTube. You can tell. It's very, very obvious.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't have a deep passion for doing it, right? Like even in what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a deep passion for crafting together your videos, putting it on, talking to the audience, having that loop, you're not going to be very good.
Well, that's why. I mean,
years.
that's why I've cancelled so many shows in the past where we've gone from like 7 shows to 3. You know, it's like that's just how it happens. It's like I could make everything that everyone wants me to make, but I won't be able to do something that you will enjoy because you can tell I'm not comfortable doing it, and it's not going to be fun for me. And so it's like, well,
so
who cares,
you have to
right?
find that place, right?
Yeah,
and you have to have faith that, like, hopefully that place actually resonates, and you don't find out you're the only person in the world who gives a crap. You know? The DNA nucleus of what it is has an infinite possibility to stretch out from because it actually is deep and rich and based on something real.
Watch out, honey, you'll get burned.
It's Riku!
What?
Going on to the nucleus of what Oddworld is and what you wanted to do with it. It's okay. This is a superficial thing. It's not like what you're going to do for it. But with what we've seen with Soulstorm so far, especially with the horrific reveal of that ARG teaser trailer, you had a lump in your throat.
I did.
Really?
It wasn't easy to watch. It was quite intense. I think for 20-30 seconds, it was pretty hard hitting. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. So
we said it would be a little dark.
Well, okay, that's what I was going to go with. It was like, obviously, it's clearly going to be darker. It's obvious going to be darker. Is there going to still be the funny bone? Is there going to be dark humor? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there has to be. You know, and there isn't even light humor. You know,
because there's nothing in that trailer.
No.
And
what you'll learn later in the game is you're seeing in that trailer what it is it's snippets of an original business plan of the brew solution being marketed to get financing from upper higher finance groups in the shadowy world of the pyramid.
The pyramid
structure.
And
then it's embedded with a ton of information to be decrypted. So what we always wanted to do was very difficult to try and achieve is that Abe's aware of the presence of you, the guiding force over his life. Now, in this game, I mean, you know, time and energy will shape what the final product is.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it was important to us that he reflected more of what is that force that's guiding me. You know, it's letting me get there, but is it really doing what's in sync with who I am? Or is it doing something opposite to that?
Yeah.
And then it would have some cascading effects, I would think, as that proceeds. Like when we first made Abe get chopped up in the bad ending, there was so much opposition internally in the company because they were like, I played this whole game, and if I played the game, I want to win. I don't want to be told that I killed the guy because I won. I was like, it was how you won. You were an asshole. You deserve to have that happen. Why don't you try playing as a better person?
Well,
and they were like, that's ridiculous. People are going to hate that. That's going to, you know.
No.
So it was all kinds of vehemence against that idea. We were like, well, we want to enable that, but we want to have a greater sense of consequence, greater impact on the psychology of the character.
And then therefore the greater impact on the social pyramid structure that you were talking about, the economics and everything. And everything's got a ripple effect, right? It affects everybody. It's not just Abe and his friends. It's the whole world changes.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people's food prices change because of what Abe did.
Yeah.
That's where Abe's going to start be branded a bad guy, and the propaganda will be shaped.
Because it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect the evil gluckons. It affects every single thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
This is better than my real driving.
Is it? Oh, please don't drive me in real life then.
No.
You were talking about guardian angels. That has just reminded me. Speaking of the guardian angel, what's with that? This is just something I haven't even written it down. It's just made me think. Is that just going to be a theme on PS4, or is that actually coming back?
Right now, it's a theme.
It's a theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what the Guardian originally was is something we never got to do because we never so much got into the Mudakan lifestyle. So that was who a Mudakan would be sent to see if they started having morale problems at work.
Okay. All right.
So it was like a
robot face, right?
Robot
Okay.
face, and be like just analyzing psychologically what do you need to get productive.
So why the hell does it have saws and syringes and?
Sometimes it's motivating.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right,
all right.
All right. It would say, get an A on your test or we're going to pull some teeth.
yeah, look, I guess it works.
Yeah, yeah.
And it ends with Abe screaming his poor little face off. Bless him. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
We're getting a Cinemaggots picture with this awesome guy.
Hey, how's it going?
Yay!
Was there anything that happened with Just Add Water? Is there a reason that they're not part of this, or was?
You know, it was a great relationship.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a great game that came out of it. So
Thank you. And everyone on that team did a great job. But it was hell on me.
okay.
And so
I went with the time, like flying over to the UK.
yeah,
all the time
where it
and
was
everything.
strictly UK based. It was very difficult. I got Bell's palsy at the end of New and Tasty. So my face on this side got paralyzed, 100%. And fortunately, I got that resolved. And then after I got it resolved, then this side went paralyzed.
Oh no! God.
So fortunately, I've regained most of my facial control. But that was because I ran myself too low, too hard, too long, and I'm not getting any younger. In case you didn't notice. So
There's a warning for
out of-
anyone
out
in
of those-
creative industry.
We had to bring most of the development closer to home.
Yeah.
Health was a major concern.
Well, yeah, it's more important than anything.
Yeah.
That's-
And that's when you and I met the first time.
Yes.
It was, at Jaw. We felt great about Jaw
Yeah.
got this title.
Well, that's great then. Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
nice thing to take around.
Yeah.
So.
Does that mean that like a couple of the assets are being used from Jaw, or is this completely fresh from the ground up, like in Soulstorm?
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them.
Or some of them a bit updated. Yeah.
Well, everything, because this is physics-based rendering.
Yeah.
All your
Absolutely.
shaders,
Yes.
dynamic lights,
Yes.
dynamic
The
shadows.
fire is incredible. Yeah.
The fire, even smoke trails that are dynamically lit. So I have to give Unity a lot of credit. I think it's really robust,
Yeah.
really well engineered software at the core. That doesn't mean you buy it out of the box and you can build what we made. You got to put millions of dollars of code on top of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it doesn't crash
No.
with what we're pumping through it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
there's a
Absolutely.
lot of processing being pumped through that.
Well, that's all I had to ask. So, well, yeah, we got a lot of information there, lots of juicy things to think about. Thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure. It's great to see
it's
you.
been a pleasure to do it. Absolutely.
Likewise.
This is going to be a fun video to edit down. He likes to talk.
Yeah, sorry about
He
that.
loves talking. That one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Special thanks to all of the people in the Patreon credits right now. Go to the description if you want to see it. And another special thanks to Alex and Pete from Oddworld for sorting out the weekend for me and Keris, because it was a fantastic time and it was lovely to see all of you guys again. Ultra special Patreon thanks to Omar Matu, Patrick Ferguson, Andy Ellis, Robert Alamshire, I Have a Portal Gun, Gamerman, Kirsten B, QB, Matthew Elliott, Nathan Young, Nicole Ganara, Jacob Pappenfuss, and Karsten. Thanks so much, everybody.